The following content is excerpted and summarized from Volume 1 of Pastor Paul C. Jang's sermon series, Have You Truly Been Born Again of Water and the Spirit, which can be downloaded free in all world languages through the New Life Mission homepage. If you want to hear the word in more detail, please visit the New Life Mission homepage to download free ebooks and audiobooks. Thus, the Old Testament atonement sacrifice was perfectly and eternally fulfilled once and for all through Jesus Christ's work of salvation with water and blood in the New Testament. Therefore, we who live in the New Testament era are freed from sin once and for all and receive salvation once and for all by accepting and believing in Jesus' baptism and cross. Christian Sermons 3. How is the once-for-all atonement fulfilled? In the Old Testament, the sins of the Israelites were atoned for through the laying on of hands and the shedding of blood on sacrificial animals such as unblemished cattle, sheep, or goats according to the sacrificial law. In the Old Testament individual sacrifices, when Israelites who had sinned brought an unblemished lamb or goat, laid their hands on it to transfer their sins, and the priest sprinkled its blood in the sanctuary after it was killed, their sins were eliminated. Also, on the day of great atonement set by God, Aaron the high priest, representing Israel, prepared 2 unblemished goats to atone for all the sins the people had committed in 1 year at once. Of the 2 goats, one was offered before God, and the other had hands laid upon its head in front of the people, transferring all the sins the people had committed for 1 year to this sacrificial goat. Then this goat, bearing the people's year's worth of sins, was sent to die in a wilderness without water or grass. Thus, the year's sins of the Israelites were eliminated. Leviticus chapter 16 verses 21 through 22. Aaron shall lay both his hands on the head of the live goat, confess over it all the iniquities of the children of Israel, and all their transgressions, concerning all their sins, putting them on the head of the goat, and shall send it away into the wilderness by the hand of a suitable man. The goat shall bear on itself all their iniquities to an uninhabited land, and he shall release the goat in the wilderness. The Old Testament sacrificial atonement was eternally fulfilled through Jesus Christ's work of salvation in the New Testament. God sent His Son Jesus Christ to this earth as a sacrificial offering to eliminate all sins of mankind forever. And 6 months before Jesus' birth, God sent John the Baptist, a descendant of Aaron, as the last high priest and representative of mankind. Then in the year when he turned 30, Jesus and John the Baptist met at the Jordan River. And John the Baptist, the last high priest, gave Jesus, who came as the sacrificial lamb, the baptism equivalent to laying on of hands, and through this baptism all sins of mankind were imputed to Jesus, and thus he took away all the sins of this world. Matthew chapter 3 verses 13 through 17. Then Jesus came from Galilee to John at the Jordan to be baptized by him. And John tried to prevent him, saying, I need to be baptized by you, and are you coming to me? But Jesus answered and said to him, Permit it to be so now, for thus it is fitting for us to fulfill all righteousness. Then he allowed him. When he had been baptized, Jesus came up immediately from the water, and behold, the heavens were opened to him, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and alighting upon him. And suddenly a voice came from heaven, saying, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. After taking upon himself all the sins of this world, he died shedding his blood on the cross to fulfill the word that the wages of sin is death. Therefore, he made all who believe in Jesus' work of salvation holy children of God who are eternally sinless. Thus, the Old Testament atonement sacrifice was perfectly and eternally fulfilled once, and for all through Jesus Christ's work of salvation with water and blood in the New Testament. Therefore, we who live in the New Testament era are freed from sin once, and for all, and receive salvation once, and for all by accepting and believing in Jesus' baptism and cross. We give thanks and praise to the Lord who saved us once and for all, eternally through the water, the blood, and the Spirit.
The Lord is waiting for your true salvation. We are offering Volume 1 of Pastor Paul C. Jong's Gospel Books for free, which delivers God's Word based on the Bible. We offer free books translated into many world languages, bilingual editions, and audiobooks. Act now and discover them.